How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's go right into this review and see what I saw. So the other day, I had the pleasure of checking out a new comedy film that came out, I believe, last year or 2016. Now I think about it, I think it's 2016 it came out. But it's an awesome, funny comedy film that just... I was really shocked at how funny it was. I was really impressed with it. I thought it was a lot better than it was going to be. And it just was a fantastic and fun, just like, comedy film. Now, this film is none other than the film How to Be a Latin Lover. Now, How to Be a Latin Lover is actually just like this awesome, like I said, comedy film. But it has like kind of like a moral story to it, about, being there for your family and stuff like that. And I thought they did a good job with it. They gave us a really good message. Now, this awesome film was actually directed by an awesome comedian himself, Mr. Ken Marino. Now, Ken Marino you might recognize from the short-lived sitcom that was on ABC, I believe, where he's married to a lady in it, and it's kind of about their marriage and their life and stuff like that. That was a really funny comedy show. He also was in a few other films. He's done some writing behind the scenes. He's done some directing, of course, too, as well. But mostly he's done acting. Now, Ken Marino, like I said, he's acted a lot. He's directed a little bit. But a couple films, I really enjoyed him as an actor in that he just was super funny, and I thought he was super fun. We're none other than an awesome film from 2010 or 2009. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but it's an awesome Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd film called Role Models. I absolutely think he's hilarious in this film as Christopher Mintz-Plasse' stepdad, and I think he's absolutely hilarious in it. He was super funny and fun, just really hilarious, and just really showed his comedic chops in it, and just how funny he is. And just, he really played the role very well, and he just was, like, super hilarious, especially when he's talking about how he was hitting on his cousins and stuff like that in the movie. He's like, I never did that to them, but I did kiss them. I did kiss my cousins, I mean, at least if he had a girlfriend, it'd be a little better, and it just was, like, a super funny role, and Ken did an amazing job in it. It was just super hilarious. Another great comedy movie that he was in, and I thought was just a really fun comedic film that had a great cast. You had Jason Sudeikis in it, you had Emma Roberts, you had Rachel from Friends, Miss Jennifer Aniston. I mean, it just had a really fun cast. And that is the film We're the Millers, which also had the awesome Ed Helms in it too as well. Now, this awesome film was just super funny, hilarious, comedic film. Different people coming together pretending to be a, wholesome family, crazy type of, comedy type of film, trying to get away from drug lords and stuff like that. But Ken Marino's character in this film was actually super hilarious. I loved it. He was kind of like a secondary character. He, basically was kind of like a tough guy, but also at the same time trying to be kind of like a good friend, etc., etc. He just was a really funny character in it. Even though his role wasn't super big, it still was super funny. I loved every scene he was in. He had some great one-liners. He had just a lot of great spunk and spontaneity in the film, and I really thought he interacted really well with everyone that was involved. But when it comes to directing How to Be a Latin Lover, I thought he did a really fantastic directorial debut. I thought he was really good at it. I thought he directed everyone very well and made a really fun and funny comedy film. His, own personal experience with comedy, I felt really came through and made a really fun film. I loved every aspect of how he directed it. I loved that it had a lot of great one-liners. It had some warmth to it. It had a lot of great one-liners, and it was a really fun and interesting film. I thought everyone involved was, super funny, and I felt that he directed them all so well. He just made a really awesome, great comedy film. I thought it was a really great, first directing duty, for somebody that, has done a lot of acting over the years, but really hasn't done much directing. I thought it was a really first-rate directing job. And he did a really killer job. I thought he made a really fantastic film, and I'm looking forward to more from him when he directs more, because I think he has a really great talent for it too as well. Now, this movie has a decent cast. Some great comedians and great, versatile actors and actresses that are just really well known and just really awesome and just really work very well together and just are really great, actors and actresses. Now, this movie's number one star, or the main actor that is the lead actor in this film, is none other than an awesome comedian himself that's done a lot of Spanish films, because he himself is Spanish. And he has just done a lot of great, like, Spanish comedies, but he's done quite a few over here in America, too, as well, that really shows that he has a great comedic timing and great comic ability. And that is Mr. Eugenio Debrez. Now, Gino, I think, is just a great comedian. Everything I've seen him in, I think he's just fantastic. I love his personality. I love just how he approaches his comedy. And I love how he's kind of like deadpan, but at the same time, he's just really funny, too, as well, along with that deadpanness. He's kind of got that same kind of flair as Bob Newhart does, where he's, like I said, very deadpan, but he knows exactly what to say to make it super funny, and I think he does a really good job at that. Now, a couple films I really enjoyed him in and thought he was fantastic in were none other than this awesome 2011 Adam Sandler film, Jack and Jill. Now, Jack and Jill, was considered a huge bomb for Adam Sandler, but I think this movie's absolutely hilarious, and I absolutely love Eugenio's character in the film. I love that he, plays kind of like this Latino, gardener type of guy, but at the same time, he falls in love with, Jill's character, the Adam Sandler female character that's supposed to be like his twin sister, and I think it's absolutely hilarious just how he is in it, and he keeps going throughout the movie, he's like, I'm just kidding. It is so stinking funny, and I just thought he was so perfect in it. I absolutely loved his characterizations. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he interacted very well with everyone that was involved in the film, including Adam Sandler. I think they really worked it well off each other, and I can see just how funny Eugenio was just in that small role. And I knew that he had a lot more, comedic ability to give, too, just from that performance as well. And I thought he did a really good job in that film. I really enjoyed him. He's actually one of the biggest reasons why I watch that movie all the time, because he's just so stinking funny in it. Absolutely loved him in it. Did a really good job. Another great film that Eugenio was involved with that is a awesome computer animated film that just is so awesome. I think that the whole idea behind it is amazing. I love every aspect of the film. I love the animation. I love the story. I just thought it was a really awesome CGI computer animated film. And that, of course, is the film The Book of Life, which Eugenio does a voiceover in. And I thought his voiceover was so fantastic. I absolutely loved his character in the film. I thought he blended so well with all the other characters. He really gave us a great, Spanish heritage type of feel, and definitely, Spanish knowing and history to the film. I thought he just did a really good job, and I thought his voice was so perfect for this character, too, because it resonated, his voice and just his accent that was just pitch perfect to the role and character. And I thought he just was a great addition to that film, especially with, how many years he's been around and doing all the awesome, comedy films. He just had a great comedic aspiration to the film, too, and he brought some really fun one-liners to the character and made it funny. But all in all, that film is just a really beautiful film and gives you a rich knowledge of Spanish heritage, and I think that's fantastic and what's so great about that film. And I thought everyone involved did such a great job, including Eugenio, and I thought he just made a really great, animated voice character and really brought something home that really resonated with me and made me really enjoy the film. But it comes to his character and how to be a Latin lover. Oh my god, he's so stinking hilarious. I was dying watching his character in this film. I was laughing so hard because he was so freaking funny. He really played the character to the T. He really gave him life. He gave him this awesome type of just personality. Because just the whole character, he's supposed to be kind of like this suave, sophisticated guy. But really, in reality, he's just playing a hustler. And he just played that so well. And was so different than any other character I've seen him play. And I thought he just did a fantastic job. I think he was absolutely hilarious. He had some great one-liners and just great dialogue in the film. And I think his interaction with everyone he was involved with, between Rob Lowe and Selma Hayek and the young boy that plays Selma Hayek's son in the film, and Raquel Welch and Rob Riggles and everyone that he played with was so stinking funny. And he knew exactly what to say and what to do, and I thought he did a great and amazing job. really well done. I think it's probably one of his best performances to date, besides Jack and Jill. Just absolutely perfection, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Really great pleasure seeing this film. Can't wait to see him in more. He was so good in this. Really worth watching just for Eugenio. Now, another awesome actress that's involved in this film that I think was just a really great pleasure to see in the film is none other than the beautiful, gorgeous Latino woman herself, Miss Selma Hayek. Now, Selma Hayek you might recognize as from the Frida movie, you might recognize her from the Grown Up series, you might recognize her from Dusk Till Dawn, and so forth. Now, a couple films I really enjoyed her and thought she was fantastic in was none other than the awesome 2017 film with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, The Hitman's Bodyguard, where she plays Samuel Jackson's love interest and wife in the film. Oh my gosh, she was so stinking funny as that character. Every scene she was in, I was just laughing so hard. She played this, like, kind of hardened criminal slash, like, love interest to Samuel L. Jackson's character, and she, like, kind of playing, like, this very hardcore person, but really, she's, like, kind of sweet and innocent, inside, but at the same time, just how she reacts to everything in the movie was super hilarious. She just made a great addition to that film, was a great, just perfect character. And I loved her being the love interest of Sam Jackson. That was just a hilarious combination, and just, I thought, so stinking funny. So great, and she did such a great job in that film. Another awesome film that Selma Hayek was in that I think is just an absolute treasure of a film. Huge cult following, huge, just great film. So beautifully directed by Kevin Smith and showed some great, just irreverent humor. And that, of course, is the film Dogma. Now, Dogma, if you're not familiar with what Dogma is basically about, it's basically kind of about angels and demons and stuff like that. A little bit of scriptural kind of thing going on, if, like, these things were going on Earth and stuff like that. And it just was a fantastic and just irreverent comedy film. Super hilarious and fun. And Selma Hayek's character was super hilarious. I absolutely loved her character. Thought she was just, like, so funny and hilarious in it. I loved how like, strong and graphic she was in the film, and like just how crazy her character was too at the same time, and how she interacted with everyone. She just was a really great comedic pleasure in that film, and really both of these movies that she was in really show how good of a comedian she is. I absolutely think she's a great comedian compared to like action star or to drama. I think her real niche is comedy, and she's so sticking good at it. Her timing is flawless, and that's how she really proved that in Dogma. Because a lot of Dogma, there was a lot of ad-libbing in that film, and she actually ad-libbed quite a bit. And I thought she did a fantastic job with that film, and just was really super funny. Great acting ability in that movie, and just really, helped add to that awesome cast already and made a really fun and awesome film. If you haven't seen Dogma, definitely check it out, people. It's worth a watch. But it comes to it in how to be a Latin lover. I loved her character as the sister, and the younger sister she's supposed to be, and I think that's absolutely hilarious and funny how she acted, and how, like, throughout the movie, Maximo kept trying to pretend that he was the younger brother, not the older brother of her, and just, like, their interaction was just so perfect and poignant, and, like a real brother-sister relationship, and I just thought they did so well together, and worked so well together, and I thought she just brought her beautiful A game of this film, and I wish she would get more credit for how funny and awesome she was in this film. She just was a real pleasure to see in the film, and she really worked well with everyone, and I thought she did a fantastic job in the movie. I really enjoyed her in it too, along with Eugenio. I thought they worked really well together. Now, another awesome, amazing actor that's in this film that I think is just a great, awesome actor. He's a great comedian too. I think he does so well comedy as well. I've seen him in more serious roles. I've seen him in, dramas and so forth. But I think his real niche, once again, another person that I feel is a real niche, is comedy. And that's, of course, is Mr. Rob Lowe. Now, Rob Lowe, you might recognize from Parks and Rec. You might recognize him from The Outsiders. You might recognize him as a part of that Rat Pack character people back in the 80s that were big during that time. He did a lot of films during the 80s and so forth. But a couple films I really enjoyed him and thought that he was just super fantastic in is An awesome film from 1997 that stars Gwyneth Paltrow and also Michael Myers. And that, of course, is the film A View from the Top, which was just a really funny, awesome comedy film. This movie I haven't seen in years, but I remember watching it and thinking this was just a super hilarious film. I loved the whole aspect about it, them being stewardess and stuff like that, and I thought that it was just he was really awesome as the co-pilot of the plane, and just like his timing in the film was perfect. His comedic timing, just everything that about that character was like super funny, and he just played such a great kind of like like dickhead asshole kind of character again as he usually does, and I thought he was so fantastic at it, and just really did a really good job at playing that co-pilot guy. And his interaction with Gwyneth Paltrow was super hilarious, and just everyone that was involved. And I just thought he did a really good job in the film. I really enjoyed him, and I thought he was a great addition to that film. Now, another great film that he was in that just came out this year, and that was a fantastic and awesome sequel, long time in the waiting. And that, of course, is the awesome Broken Lizards film, Super Troopers 2. Now, Super Troopers 2, reacquaints all the awesome Broken Lizard cast along with a few additions, including Mr. Rob Lowe. Now, Rob Lowe plays this awesome character in the film where he has, like, a Canadian accent, which absolutely cracks me up. Oh my gosh, this accent is so bad, you cannot not laugh at Rob Lowe because his accent's so bad. But at the same time, you're just like cracking up because you're like, he's trying so hard to do this Canadian accent. And you're just like, it's like, you're not like, you're not like Rick Moranis or Dave Thomas that do it really well, and stuff like that. But it was just super funny. Oh my gosh, he was absolutely a great bad guy in the film. He was super hilarious and funny. I just absolutely really enjoyed his character in it, and I thought he did a really good job. Made a really good and fun, character, and just, was a great addition to that awesome film that, was so many years in the making, and it definitely was just as good as the first one. If you haven't seen my review for Super Trooper 2, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Just a really fun and awesome film, and Rob did a really good job in it. Now, when it comes to his character in How to Be a Latin Lover, I thought he was really good in this, too, as well. I really enjoyed it again. I thought he played another great character to the T. I thought his interaction with Eugenia was super hilarious. I thought that them kind of being, like, these cohorts and what they're doing, and, like, kind of being, like, lifelong, best friends that work together and, like, trade off ideas on how to get their next lay and to make lots of money and not have to do anything for it and stuff like that was just super hilarious. And I thought Rob Lowe was really funny, especially this one scene where he's supposed to be a cop and he's, like, wearing kind of like a stripper cop outfit, and, like, Rob Riggles and Rob Hubble are, like, trying to, like, they're, like, thinking he's a real cop, but then noticing things like, why do you have fuzzy handcuffs and stuff like that? And Rob Lowe's just like, I'm an officer of the law, just deal with it. This is to make sure it doesn't chafe on people's hands when I put them on them and stuff like that. It was absolutely hilarious. So funny. Rob was awesome in the film, and just really a great pleasure to be added to this film, too, as well. Just really fun and awesome, and was a really great character, too. So, to round out this awesome cast, we have none other than Mrs. Dax Shepard herself, Miss Veronica Mars, Miss Sarah Marshall, the awesome and beautiful Kristen Bell. Now, Kristen Bell is just a great comedian, I feel. I mean, she can even do a little drama, too, at the same time. But I think she's absolutely fantastic and a great comedian. She definitely was awesome in a whole bunch of movies. You might recognize her from such films as, like, The Boss, Lifeguard, the Chips movie. She's just a really awesome actress. But she's done quite a few great films that I think are just really fun and enjoyable. And to narrow it down to a couple that I really enjoy, were such films as the awesome 2015 film that was just an awesome and excellent comedy. And that, of course, is the film Bad Moms. Now, Bad Moms, she plays one of the moms that's like the main part of the trio between Mila Kunis and Katherine Hahn. And she just was super hilarious, and I absolutely think she was fantastic. She just played that character to the T. She plays like this, always at home with the children, having to do everything for the children while the husband works, and she's just happy, and she needs to have girl time and stuff like that, and just how through the movie she kind of becomes more independent and more like, okay, husband, you're gonna do this, was absolutely hilarious. And she goes from kind of like the soft-spoken person to all of a sudden like this crazy, outrageous gal, and I think it was super funny and hilarious. great job in the film, and just she really made that film even more funnier, along with Catherine Hahn and Mila Kunis, who Catherine Hahn is like perfection at comedian personnel. That woman is so freaking hilarious, and all three of them just worked so well together, and they played off each other so well, and just made a great film. Super funny if you haven't seen it. Definitely check it out, Two People, Bad Moms. Real fun, and Kristen Bell's awesome in it. Another awesome film that Miss Kristen Bell was in that I think is a very underrated film. I think it was super funny. Had a fantastic, cast. It had Sam Huntington in it. It had Dan Fogel in it. William Shatner had a cameo in it. Seth Rogen had a cameo in it. It just was a really fun and true-based film, actually. This was based loosely on a true story that happened back in '99 when Star Wars Episode 1 was coming out. And that, of course, is the film called Fanboys. This awesome film was just so awesome. I loved her character in the film. I loved how she interacted with the guys. I loved her character was just like so free-spirited, but at the same time she had a lot of great knowledge, and she helped contribute to this crazy idea that they decided to catch. Because unfortunately what the story is basically about is one of the guys that's a part of the group, he actually has a form of cancer, and basically he only has so much time to live, and he wants to be able to see Star Wars Episode 1 in theaters, or see it before he dies. And so they catch up this plan to go to Skyrocket Ranch and see if George Lucas will let him watch it because he's dying of cancer. And pretty much it's about their road trip and their trip to get there and to be able to see the movie so that their dying friend can see it. It was just a really well done film. It was definitely a dramedy, but a lot of great comedy in it. I mean, Dan Fogel was awesome, Sam Huntington, and then Kristen Bell was just really awesome. I loved how she worked with the film. I thought she did such a great job. Lots of great comedic elements, lots of great dramatic elements too by her, and I thought that she was a great character and characterization of that character that this is based off of. And I thought she just did a really fun job with it. But when it comes to her character and how to be a Latin lover, I absolutely loved her in this too. She basically plays like this cat woman that has all these cats and they keep like scarring her. So every time you see her, she's got bandages or scratches all over her and stuff. And she was absolutely hilarious. She like almost plays kind of like this psycho person too at the same time. That's kind of the vibe I got from her characterization. And I loved that. I thought it was super funny and hilarious. And she just was a really great character in the film, and she was like a great addition to the film. And she just really worked really well with Eugenio and everyone involved. And I thought she just was a great addition to the film, like I said before. And I really liked her performance, and I thought she was fantastic. She really made it very entertaining and enjoyable, and she was a great, just really great person to add to that character, because I thought she did it perfectly. And I don't think I could see anybody else playing that character because she just was so good at it. Really well done, and definitely worth seeing if you really like Kristen Bell too for this film. Really worth it. So if you're not familiar with How to Be a Latin Lover is about, basically the premise of the film is Eugenio Debrez's character is basically this lifelong hustler, basically, of older women that he gets in bed with so that he can have, basically rich money without actually having to do any work except for, being this lover to this older woman, and basically to pay him, basically like a gigolo kind of, to be their lover. And basically what the movie's about is he's in this relationship, and all of a sudden she decides to end it because she finds some newer, younger guy, and he basically has to go live back at home with his sister that he hasn't seen in years, and basically he has to see what he can do to try to get back into with an older woman, and he basically uses the family a little bit in order to get his way, and he learns a life lesson in how to also be helpful and to help his fellow people out too as well. And basically it's about that, his life and him trying to reestablish it and, not have to work again. It's a super funny film. I thought it was really well done. Ken Marino kicked the butt out of directing it. Like I said, everyone involved was super awesome in it. Absolutely enjoyed it, and thought it was fantastic. Very entertaining. It entertained the crap out of me, and it's great movie. I can't wait to add it to my collection. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this one, people. Really worth the watch. Really fun. Just really great chemistry in the film too, and I thought it was super funny. You'll laugh your butts off, people. It's really worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. And this is your first time here, if you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? A grand invitation? Hit that subscribe button so to miss this awesome review or any of my awesome reviews I put up. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen yet. And as always, check out that awesome link down below about the awesome horror pack. Now, Horror Pack, if you're not familiar with this, is an awesome subscription service that comes right to your door every month of either 4 DVDs or 4 Blu-rays of horror awesomeness. Now, especially if you're a big horror fan or if you like collectibles, what better way to get an awesome, like, out of print or, just a, awesome edition that you can't get anywhere else, also including your box too, and in the price. So you're not paying out the wazoo for some crazy person on eBay that says, yeah, I bought this in 1981, and it's the original VHS copy of Critters, It's an awesome subscription service. So that's something that interests you, hit that link down below. It'll take you right to the site, and also you'll get a discount on your first month. So check that out if you're interested. And as always, also check out the awesome Stardust app, people. Now, especially if you like watching movie reviews, or if you were a big fan of course, the awesome and now gone Vines, what better way to have fun than watch 3 to 30-second mini reviews of movies, trailers, TV shows, TV episodes, anything you can think of. And also, this is an awesome app you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store as well. So if you end up downloading that, go ahead and look me up at Cyberneticshark and follow me, and I'll follow you back. And as always, catch you next one.